So what do we all look forward to when we're watching a slasher movie? Can you guys guess? Yes, that's right. Kills. Gruesome kills. Deaths. And boobies as well, right? That's always good. That's always nice when a horror movie puts that in. And In a Violent Nature just so happens to tickle that fancy, though there isn't any sex in it, because what's interesting about this movie is that it's filmed from the killer's perspective instead of, well, like the teenagers who are trying to survive. So in this movie, there's a lot of walking, but it is shot beautifully. Cinematography is like really good, and the kills are some of the best kills I've seen in a horror movie in a long time. This is probably the closest we're gonna get to like a Friday the 13th movie. So we're gonna rank all these kills in this small little indie movie. Now caution, there are some pretty gnarly kills in it. So if you have a weak stomach, you're gonna swallow that and you're gonna keep watching because it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. So here's a rundown of the plot. It's a 2024 Canadian slasher film, go Canada, which follows a mute killer, things like Jason, who is accidentally resurrected from his grave by teenagers whom he then begins to seek and destroy because they stole his mother's necklace, and that's what raises him from the dead. This movie also includes tons of walking, horny teens. He's definitely a mama's boy. The kills are glorious. Some of the best kills I've seen in a horror movie. And we are introduced to a new yoga pose. So let's talk about kill number 1. So Johnny begins walking, and he comes across a dead fox in a trap. This is not the first kill, all right? I feel bad for the fox, right? And whoever set up that trap and just left it in there to die, that person. The woods are just covered in basically bear traps and snares, right? As he's walking, he hears these two rednecks in the distance talking to each other, yelling at each other in real redneck form. Yarr! One takes off in a truck and just gets out of there. Johnny is walking really slowly, and the guy doesn't see him enter his house. He walks into the guy's house, and he notices a necklace hanging, I believe, like near a wall. And he mistakes it for, well, his mother's necklace. The redneck comes through the door, and they have a little bit of a tussle. The guy's really scared because Johnny's face is really f***ed up. And we do see that later on in the movie. Redneck starts to run away, making his way through the forest. Johnny slowly pursues him, and we're basically walking with Johnny, right? Because it's from his point of view. Johnny slowly walks after him, and the guy gets trapped in his own bear trap. Ooh. The guy is begging for his life. He's like, oh, please don't kill me. I'm the number one motherfucker. Because his hat says that, I believe. Johnny walks towards him, his hand outstretched. And then it cuts away to Johnny's hand, all bloody, as he reaches for this necklace. So we don't actually see the kill. The kill is off screen. And Johnny's hand is covered in blood. So we don't get to see the kill. But Johnny does walk past his body again. And we do see, like, an out-of-focus dead corpse, which looks like his, like Johnny may have reached, like, right through his head and made a hole. That's what I'm guessing. Or maybe his jaw got ripped off. I'll only give this 2 bloody slashes out of 5 because we don't get to see the kill, right? And when I'm watching a slasher movie, I want to see the kills, right? I want to see the cool practical effects. But again, it's an indie movie, so maybe the budget constraints or time, but it does leave it up to the imagination of what Johnny may have did to it. So how could they have made this better? Well, they could have showed the kill. I mean, it's that simple. Show the kill. It's just so much better. Let's move on to kill number 2. It's nighttime and Johnny is walking through the woods and he hears these teens having a discussion. Johnny approaches the group of friends sitting around a fire telling creepy stories, and one of the campers tells the story of Johnny while he creeps in the background, right? Like it's a cool shot because the camera is like a one shot, I think, and it's going around this campfire, and you can like kind of see like Johnny like very vaguely in the shadows in the forest. It's kind of creepy. And we learn how he was tricked into climbing a fire tower for like a box of toys, and
Johnny fell from the tower. His neck snapped as soon as it hit the ground.
He came back a few times, killing, but each kill was decades apart. That's what we learn. So this is not his first time, not his first rodeo. So after that, the group of friends go inside, they start to drink, party, have a nasty time. Of course, we don't get to see it because we're with Johnny. Aaron, one of the guys, steps outside, headphones on, music blasting, listening to some sick tunes, smoking a joint, getting high, just chilling by a tree, being all teen-like. Doesn't hear Johnny coming up from behind him. Brings this giant knife across from behind and shoves it into his mouth and starts to pull back. Aaron starts to struggle. Blood is just like pouring from his mouth and shit. He starts to choke on blood. The struggle is real, and then the knife cuts through, severing like his head in half. We see everything this time. We see everything. Head pops off, or half the head pops off, falls to the ground. Pretty awesome kill. But it doesn't stop there, because Johnny drags his corpse to a nearby park ranger station, or office, I should say, and kind of throws his corpse around breaking shit. Collects a pair of dragging hooks, so it's like 2 hooks, the chain holding them together, an axe, and a creepy old fireman's mask. Love the mask, creepy, love the weapons. It's definitely unique. Now, this was a great kill. It's an easy 4 out of 5 bloody slashes. It was just brutal, great effects, and just him dragging Aaron's corpse around was pretty comical, right? He's like, "This is mine. You're mine now." How could they have made this better? I thought it was a well-executed kill. Great effects, brutal. I don't think I'd change anything. It honestly doesn't look like a dummy or anything like that at all. So they did. I'm pretty sure like most of the budget probably went to the special effects. Let's move on to kill number 3. Johnny stalks through the woods the next day and comes across 2 girls from the friends group just across the lake. Brody wants to swim. The other girl doesn't.
This doesn't look like yoga to me.
There's a lot of like sexual chemistry here between the 2. Kind of sad that we're not with them to see it play out, but what can you do? We're with Johnny. So one of the girls leaves to go and do yoga, while the other girl, Brody I believe, just wants to chill in the lake because it's a hot day out, wants to swim around and just kind of enjoy the vacation that she's on. Johnny doesn't like that this girl is swimming in his lake. So he slams his axe down, very angrily, I must say, and walks into the lake and submerges, and I can only assume that he's walking on the bottom of the lake towards where this girl is swimming. We then see the girl get pulled under, screaming, a little bit of a struggle, and then it gets real quiet. It's like a quick death, right? So I give this 2 bloody splashes out of 5. Lackluster. How could they have made this better? This doesn't need to be bloody or gory in this scene, since it takes place inside the lake. Maybe a little bit more of a struggle from the girl. Maybe she's trying to kick away, trying to grab the dock. Maybe we see Johnny come up and like grab her head and try and push her under. Just more struggle. This was pretty quick. Let's move on to kill number 4. He pursues the next girl, the girl who wanted to go and do yoga, right? The horny girl. So he slowly starts to walk up on her while she's doing yoga near a cliff, out of all places. I guess because of the scenery, maybe. He turns around and screams because Johnny, with his firefighter mask on, which is creepy, and all these weapons, she freaks out and she tries to run. But there's nowhere to go because there's a cliff right there, right? I mean, she could try and jump off, but she'd probably, maybe break her leg or something, and then Johnny's just gonna get you anyways. So Johnny comes up from behind her, shoves his hook through her back, blood spattering everywhere. We get a nice shot of this amazing effect work, his hand sliding through and out her back, the hook sticking out of her stomach. The girl slowly turns around because she's in shock that this dude just fisted her right through her fucking back. He pulls the hook through, stabs her right in the head, spins her back around, and yanks the other side of the chain and breaks her neck like a pretzel, pulling her head down and all the way through the gaping hole in her stomach that he made. But just when you think he's done, he kicks her down the cliff because he can. This was one of the most brutal death scenes I've seen in a long time. Very well executed. When you watch slasher movies, all slashers have like that one main big kill. And for this movie, this was one of those, like this was the big kill for the movie. I give this one a 5 out of 5 bloody slashes because you don't need to make this better. All right, this was fucked up. It was a unique kill. Great practical effects, great sound work of like the bones and the neck cracking. You know, and funny that he just shoved her dead corpse off the cliff. Kill 5 and 6. Troy and Evan, two douchebags. I don't like anyone in this movie. They're freaking out about their missing friends. Like, oh my god, where'd everyone go? Colt and Chris, they take off. I think Colt and Chris are like the boyfriend and girlfriend. They take off on an ATV to go to the ranger station to get help. Troy and Evan stay behind to find some missing car keys. Johnny attacks one of them, throwing him away from the car and slashing his leg with his axe. Axe goes in, blood spurts out. Right? Just when you think Johnny's gonna finish him off, the other guy, I don't know which one's which, so the other douchebag comes out with a gun, shoots at Johnny, and misses once, but the second shot knocks him down unconscious. The guy goes, grabs his friend to get up and try and run away or hobble away. Johnny, though, he's quick on his feet, right? He gets up, takes his axe, and throws it, hitting one of them in the head, but we don't see it. We don't see the kill. We just hear the axe hit. The other guy with the axe wound, he's yelling, he's crawling away, trying to get away from Johnny, begging for his life. Johnny finds a pretty big rock, walks up to him, the guy's still screaming, and then Johnny brings the rock down onto his head, and we see skull and brain matter just splatter everywhere like a smashing pumpkin. So we see one guy, well, we don't see one guy gets killed off screen, but we do see a pretty cool rock head squish kill. The other two, Colt and Chris, return after finding Aaron's dead body at the ranger station. Remember, Johnny used him to break the glass and fondle him and stuff like that. And they see their friends are murdered, so they take off again on the ATV. So we get two quick kills. We get one off screen, and the other one a brutal head squish. So if we were to see like the axe being thrown and actually like hitting the dude, like, right, and then with the head squish, I probably would have ranked this higher, but because we got another off-screen kill, I'm only gonna give this like 3.5 bloody slashes out of 5. I feel like that's fair. How could they have made this better? Well, would have loved to see the axe throw, you know, and not have it off screen. But the rock smash, that was pretty sick. I like the rock smash. Let's move to kill number 7. Colt and Chris, the boyfriend and girlfriend, found one of the park rangers. Found out that he was the one who put Johnny in the ground years ago using his mom's locket. So, you know, we get a little bit of backstory. Johnny, the dude, he just wants his mom's locket. If you give him his locket, he'd probably just go away and go back to bed, right? Like this poor guy. Such a mama's boy. The park ranger's talking. He did it once, and he's saying he could do it again. But for a second, he shortly subdues Johnny with a shotgun. Shoots him. Ugh. Johnny falls down. And then Johnny, well, he gets the upper hand. He's able to get the shotgun away from him and throws him to the ground. Colt and Chris see what's happening, and they just take off. Johnny breaks the park ranger's spine, paralyzing him. And we see this because the park ranger's laying there, his eyes are moving, and he's just like, kind of whimpering a little bit, right? Like, that's kind of brutal. That's when I knew this was getting personal, because I feel like Johnny remembers this guy. So he drags his body to the shed in the background, and in the shed is an old school log splitter. You know, you start the engine and this big blade comes down and splits logs. And Johnny starts this up, and he slowly begins to dismember the park ranger limb by limb. You know, it seemed very personal. It's a really intense scene to watch because the ranger can't do anything. You know, he's just laying there paralyzed as Johnny is just dismembering him. Damn log splitter is just super slow, adding to the tension. Ranger eventually loses his head. So it's another unique kill, and I gotta give it 5 out of 5 bloody slashes, up there with the yoga kill, because it was just a pretty intense scene. And I believe it's another one-shotter. filmed in one take. I don't think I would change a thing with this kill. The guy is being paralyzed, unable to move, unable to do anything while he's just slowly being split by this log splitter. You know, it's a nightmare right there. So that's why I gave it 5 out of 5. Let's move on to the final kill. Colt and Chris are in the woods, right? The boyfriend and girlfriend. They might not be boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know. I don't remember because I didn't really care about the group of friends. Because we didn't really get to know them because we were with Johnny the whole time, right? They're like sneaking through the forest, planning how to take out Johnny, trying to come up with a plan. And Johnny, well, you know, we're with him and he can hear everything that they're saying. I think the plan was to distract him and burn him. I think that was the plan because they're like carrying like a gasoline tank and stuff like that. Colt jumps out from behind a tree and tries to distract Johnny, like, "Like son of a bitch!" You know, while the girl was gonna throw gasoline on him and light him on fire, I believe. Stupid idea because Johnny was with cat-like reflexes, turns around and fucking splits the dude's head right in half with his axe. Like son of a bitch, we're right. And then blood just kind of like sprays everywhere. And he just starts going to town on this guy, just hitting him with an axe over and over and over. Like, I don't know, like over like 30 times, he was hacking him to pieces. The final girl of this movie is standing there in shock as her boyfriend is just being hacked to death. You know, but she does the smart thing, leaves the locket and the gas can, and just runs into the woods and while Johnny's distracted, and just leaves them, right? You know, Johnny is just enjoying his time with Colt. Boys will be boys, I guess. Boys will be boys. Now, I found this scene kind of hilarious, just how, like, Colt pops out and tries to distract Johnny, but is killed mid-sentence as Johnny just splits his head right in half. He's over it at this point. He just wants his mom's locket. He wants to lock it. He wants to go back to bed, right, and have a nice long sleep. He's killed enough. He's killed enough, right? It's hard work for him. I'm gonna give this one 4 bloody flashes out of 5. The abrupt kill and Johnny just welling on the guy for like a solid 3 minutes. Like it was a while. It must have been maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And this is like the shock on the girl's face. So she's like, "What do I do? Should I run? I'm probably gonna run here." How could they have made this better? Kill the final girl. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm getting kind of like, I know like the final girl is like a big horror movie trope, but I'm kind of getting tired of the whole final girl thing. It's been done to death. You know, someone's gonna survive. Usually it's a girl, right? So seeing like the final girl getting murked with her boyfriend would have been like a nice icing on the cake for this movie. But no, because we get like an extra 15 minutes of her running through the woods and a TED talk about a bear.
Brother was a game warden. Got mauled by a bear.
But like, I'm not too sure what that was about, because it really extends the movie. But if they were to cut the last 15 minutes and just end it where she ran, left the locket, this would have been like a perfect horror movie. But no, they extend it 15 extra minutes with her running through the woods and then her coming across a person in a car and this woman just going off about her brother being attacked by a bear. It was really weird. But yeah, 4 bloody slashes out of 5. Now we have a tie here. All right, we gotta go over the kill rank winner. We gotta crown one of them. We got 2 insane kills: the yoga kill and the log splitter. I was really racking my brain around this one, but I gotta go with my first time reaction of seeing it, and also my second time doing this whole thing. And I gotta go with the yoga kill. It was so f***ing over the top. You know, the practical effects and the sound on this kill was really good. It was excessive, yes, but also it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was kind of comical as well, because you're just like, oh my god, it keeps going. That's the winner, the yoga girl. Good job, yoga girl. You don't get anything, but congratulations. Out of all these kills, what would you rank your kill ranking winner if you guys had to choose?